Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Backyard Build. We're back on the Coronet. We're going to get the templates made for the end of the frame rail, so let's get into it. Okay, so I got my templates. Now I've got them placed down and traced them out. Now I'm going to cut them out. So let's get started with that. Alright, got my templates made. Got this template. Just need to drill the holes out. And I got this one made. So I just need to make the bends the 90 degrees and drill the holes out on that one. And then make another set for the other side. Okay, so I made the step in the piece of sheet metal. I had this flipped over the other way and just hammered it down a little bit. And then stacked these. And then hammered it down flat with the wood, with the piece of metal, which gave me the step in the metal that I need to match the step that you can see right here that runs all along there and up the side. As you can see, it has the curve in it right there. Now it's kind of hard to see in this light, but anyway, so then when I put it in the 90, it'll have the step that goes the whole length so that the other piece of sheet metal can then slide up underneath of it. It's supposed to come up the backside here too. Hey guys, what's up? It's another day. I did a little bit of work off camera because I was trying to get my welding cart set up and all that stuff, and after I got it set up, I did a little test thing to make a little piece of the end of the frame rail here. So from basically here over, I made this piece here with the shape for the end of it and welded the threaded piece that goes behind that was in here. I removed it and got it welded on. I measured and put all the holes in the exact spots and everything. Got all the factory holes and stuff like that in it. So I just need to cut along the bottom here and remove that and then weld this patch piece in. And then I'll be doing it. Same thing for the other side, because there's like this, might be hard for the camera to pick up. See if I can get the right angle. You can see how it's bent in right here, but there's this big dimple down here in the bottom. You can see the big old hole. I can stick my finger in it basically. And so I'm going to replace this piece here as well as the outside here. I'll probably replace it as well, just because I want it to look really nice. So anyway, I'm just going to cut this out and get the new piece in, and yeah, alright, let's get started. I'm going to mark a line where to cut. Touchy, go, come on. That's my daughter's dog, Duchess. She's a Bernese mountain dog, if anybody's wondering. Alright, now I got on my line for cutting. I'm going to put you into time lapse. Alright, put those plug welds on. The holes lining up. You can see the hole there. Factory holes lining up from the bracket that's back there. And I got the bumper mount holes with the bracket on there. And I just got to bend this little tab over so it matches the other side. And now I just got to weld along the seam there and along the seam on the bottom there. Okay, so I got that done. The breaker tripped or whatever. And I found out that the breaker that I was on was just a 15 amp, so it wasn't able to handle it, so I need to find somewhere else to plug in. It's no wonder the welder was acting weird. Anyway, I got that whole piece welded on. Because of the fact that it wasn't welding very darn well, I'm gonna have to grind a little bit more than I was hoping to, but anyway, well, that's it for the night. It's really weird looking sky. Everything's really orange everywhere. All right, look at the houses and everything across the way. Everything's just orange because of the sky. So, but it'll be a good day on the ocean tomorrow. You know the saying, red skies at night, sailors delight. Red skies in the morning, sailors take warning. Well, it'll be a nice day out on the ocean tomorrow, so that's a good thing. Anyway, all right, well, I'm done for the night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it's another day now. We're gonna do some more work on the Coronet. I gotta get the welds ground down on the piece of the frame rail that I replaced, and then see what else I can get done, because I had a bunch of stuff to do today, and it's pretty late. It's about 5:30 or so, so I only got a few hours of daylight left. So, you know, I'll bring you in and show you. So I need to grind down the welds on that so it looks nice and pretty. And anyway, so I'm gonna put you in time lapse and get that done. All right, here we go. Okay guys, so we're gonna get some more work done on the Coronet. Bring you in so to show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be cutting along the bottom here, along where these booger welds are at, and coming up to replace this piece. As you can see, it's all deformed and it's just nasty looking, and we got this outside one all brand new looking. So we're gonna get this one cut out so we can replace it so that the top is perfectly flush and not all chewed up and wavy and dented, and then we'll still be doing the other side. But anyway, so let's get going with that. I'm gonna put you in time lapse. All right, got that all ground down where I'm going to be welding. So I'm going to put some weld through primer on there. Some of the U-pull weld through copper primer. And putting this piece in here to replace the old one, which is right here. As you can see, it's not straight at all, super wavy. So I'm replacing it. Made all the factory notches in it. Left the piece extended on the end or whatever to be able to fold over. So yeah, I'll be plug welding to these two brackets here. So I'll have to mark those holes while that's drying. I can get those marked and ready to go. And then I'll be welding along the bottom. Yeah, so let's get started with that. Alright, gotta let that dry so I can tape that off along the welding surfaces so that I don't spray the rust inhibitor down inside back over the welding area. So we'll let that dry and then we'll go back to it. And put some zero rust in there. Pretty well coated. Looks pretty. I'll shoot some more paint on here. I had to put my welding ground on there earlier, as you saw. Just one more piece here. I need to undo the K-frame so I can weld the spot between here and here because I couldn't get to it. I tried, but I didn't. I was afraid I was gonna, with such a small spot, I didn't want to weld it to the K-frame. So after I get that all boxed up and nice and solid, I'll undo the bolts in the K-frame, lower it down, and then finish that little spot in there. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna wait for that to dry, and then we can start putting the patch pieces on top. All right, I got my pieces. You got the weld through copper primer on both of them. Got the holes drilled for being able to plug weld here. Now I want to plug weld from this side. That way I don't have to grind them down to fit the inner wheel well. I won't have to get them super perfect. I'll just grind them down on the outside. And when you paint over them, you'll never see them. But I don't have to worry about getting it just right to be able to get the inner fender to pinch against that for plug welding it. So I'm going to put some tape on here so I can put some zero rust on the underside of this so it's protected. We'll let those dry. And then we'll get to clamping them in place and welding them in. Alright, we got these all weld through primered. And line these up with the factory notches. Alright, I got the plug welds done. Got one more here. Apparently that was underneath my clamp. So I'm going to get that real quick. Okay. So now I'm going to go through and plug weld all these ones in, and then the frame roll will be complete. Alright, I got all those plug welds done. These were the 3 that were contaminated, so they literally grew up out of it, but all the rest of them did fine. So now when I go to put the inner frame rail right here, and these are not going to have a lump that I need to grind down and get just perfect for that to fit right. So, but that frame rail is complete. All I have to do is bend this tab up and over like the factory did. Got the factory notches, factory holes. Way better looking once that's got paint on it than that side, which is exactly what the other side looked like. I mean, really bad. Now I just need to undo the K-frame, like I said, and finish welding this little strip from here to here. But anyway, all right. I'm gonna get these plug welds ground down so that I can paint it, and it'll be protected because it's been sprinkling overnight. So let's get started with that. Okay, got all the welds ground down along there. Along here, I did 2 plug welds where those two overlap each other, whatever, and welded the shock tower to the piece that I made back there. So now I just got to grind these down right here, and then I can paint it up with some Zero Rust to seal it for now. Okay, finally at the point where I can spray it. All right, there's this little tab right here that has to be folded over. Just like the factory. All right, I got final product here. Heck of a lot better than it was, that's for darn sure. I'm very happy with the way it came out. All right, so that's going to be it for this episode. Sorry, it's kind of a short one. I've been busy all week, haven't really had time to do much, so I had to use some footage from when I first got the car and I filmed. So again, I'm sure it wasn't all that great, but the story will continue with it, and I'll get more footage and do a lot more stuff with it, and that'll be to come. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications so you get notified whenever there's future episodes. All right, we'll see you in the next one.